Hello, John, and hello, friends. It's wonderful to be with you all today. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to talk about climate restoration, to talk about action in the form specifically of advocacy, why that matters, and why it really, truly makes a difference. So as I begin, I want to first just define what do I mean by climate restoration. So climate restoration is the goal of returning our climate to a safe and healthy state, where atmospheric CO2 levels are below 300 parts per million. And it's not, I should mention, it's not just carbon dioxide levels, it's also other greenhouse gases, such as methane, that play a big part in this. But regardless of what greenhouse gas we're talking about, this will require, of course, a rapid and complete energy transition. And it will also require the safe and permanent removal of 1 trillion tons of excess carbon dioxide that has accumulated in our atmosphere since the Industrial Revolution. I am going to try to play this quick video that I think will give a little bit better idea of what I'm talking about. So bear with me, and hopefully we will have success with our technology.
Imagine our Earth is in a bathtub. For millions of years, Earth was bathing in a healthy level of CO2. Over the last 200 years, humankind turned on the faucet, pouring additional CO2 into the bathtub. Today, the tub is overflowing, and our planet is drowning in CO2. Mitigation helps to turn down the flow rate of the faucet, and adaptation helps us learn to swim in the tub. Both are critical. Still, no matter how much we turn down that faucet, our planet will still be drowning unless we get some CO2 out of the tub. Climate restoration opens the drain to empty the tub. At the Foundation for Climate Restoration, our mission is to restore CO2 to healthy levels as quickly as possible. Our goal is to get to pre-industrial levels by the year 2050. This is achievable, but we need to hurry. Join us.
Okay. Oops, sorry.
Imagine our
All right, so as you heard in that video, our mission is to catalyze the action that is needed to restore this safe and healthy climate. So what we need to do, what our specific contribution to that, is creating an environment in which climate restoration can take place. So that's an environment in which the public and elected officials support the goal. Here are a few ways that we do this at the Foundation for Climate Restoration. We have numerous educational initiatives for people of all ages, both people who are in school, young children, up through teenagers, university level, but also adults and people who are in the middle of their professional career or even in retirement. We have a wonderful global youth leadership training. But what I'm really here to talk about today is our advocacy with elected officials. Now, I can do a little bit of that. Some of our other fantastic team members from around the United States and around the world can do that. But where the most important thing, the strength that our movement is really bringing is in our volunteers around the world. They have been truly remarkable in stepping up and being not only effective advocates, but effective spokespeople and effective recruiters for this mission. And one other really important thing that I want to stress here is partnerships. Some of the partnerships that we have are, well, with Rotary Climate Action Team Network. So both the network in general, also individual Rotary members around the world are extremely powerful advocates for climate restoration. Groups like Our Planet, Our Future, you'll hear from Paul shortly. There's a fantastic United Nations Foundation initiative called Girl Up, and we're partnering with them to create a curriculum that is really truly global in reach and highlights the stories of girls who are impacted by climate change and how climate restoration is helping them to move forward in a positive way. And then we partner with organizations such as Open Air Collective to promote carbon dioxide removal here in the United States on the local level, the state level, and the national level, and also in countries around the world. So there are immense opportunities for this emerging industry of carbon dioxide removal and other greenhouse gas removal for advocacy to take place. So there are a number of solutions, and I unfortunately don't have time to get into exactly what those are today, but there are a number of different solutions, both nature-based and technological. And these solutions won't get implemented and scaled up in a vacuum. Policy has an extremely important role to play in building this enabling environment or this supportive environment that we talk about. And our local chapters are the main mechanism for building that supportive policy environment. There's sample legislation that our advocates use in their areas of influence, and they've been remarkably successful so far in getting these bills introduced and adopted on the governmental level. Now, this is similar to a few decades ago when the solar industry was new. There needed to be some governmental support at the beginning to get that industry established, up and running, and able to scale up and survive and thrive on its own. That's where we are today with greenhouse gas removal. We need government support at this point for the industries to get up and running. Now, there are a couple of QR codes here for those of you who wish to get involved or learn more. So the first is, if you'd like to learn more about joining an existing Foundation for Climate Restoration chapter, or perhaps starting a new one if one doesn't yet exist in your area, you can get onto the link from that QR code, or you could email my colleague Terry Pugh, who's our Director of Civic Engagement. Her email is right here on the screen, terri@f4cr.org. There's another really outstanding advocacy organization called Citizens Climate Lobby. If you're not familiar with them, I encourage you to look them up and see what they're doing. And there is a Rotary Action team within Citizens Climate Lobby right now. So for those of you who are in attendance in Assisi or joining online, who are already a part of Rotary, this could be a really great way for you to enter and start taking some really meaningful climate action. So I encourage you to check out both of these links and see what feels right for you. Now, I want to close today, and John alluded to this, with one main takeaway from COP27. It was an immense event. I'm sure many of you were either there or followed closely in the media about what was happening. And in my opinion, we didn't get the governmental results that I might have been hoping for in terms of meaningful, urgent climate action. But one thing that did happen was that there was agreement to establish a fund for what's called loss and damage. That basically means for poorer countries, including small island developing states, other countries in the global south that are really bearing the brunt of climate change fueled natural disasters, storms, floods, droughts, fires. There's going to be a fund established to help them recover from those. And that fund will be fueled by wealthy nations, most of whom had a great deal to do with high carbon emissions over the years that has created this mess that we're in. So the reason I say that, the reason that is impressive to me, there's a lot of work yet to do on the loss and damage fund, but that seemed almost impossible 3 weeks ago, a year ago, 10 years ago. It seemed nearly impossible that we would ever even get agreement on this. Yet here we are, we got agreement. And the big reason, in my opinion, in my experience, is that the moral authority and the moral force of the civil society movement that was pushing for a loss and damage fund could no longer be ignored. It was simply the right thing to do. There were enough people calling for it. There were enough people calling for it in effective ways, and they didn't give up. So that's the message that I want us all to walk away with today, is our voices truly do matter. Our advocacy can make a difference, and it is making a difference in many ways. So thank you all. I hope to be working closely with you as you enter into and strengthen your climate action and climate advocacy commitments. Thank you.